The difference between a bad investment and a good investment is just 10 years. Now, this is actually saying I heard a couple weeks ago, and it actually resonated with me because it talks about the fact that not every single investment property that you purchase is going to be a slam dunk. And I'll be the first to admit I have a handful of real estate investments, but not every single one of them absolutely crush it. But before I jump into today's video, my name is McKeown. I'm a licensed real estate agent and investor in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and technically I'm also licensed in the state of Florida, which will come into play here in just a couple minutes. I spent the last decade building up my income and growing my real estate portfolio to close to $10 million to now help people on YouTube or just social media in general be able to be a little bit more confident and learn a little bit when it comes to real estate investing, but also just overall changing the outlook of what your potential can truly be. And if you are by chance new to this channel, about 10 years ago, I was a high school teacher making $50,000 a year. Fast forward a decade later, I have now 30x'd my income, roughly making about $1.5 million the last couple years. And again, I'm here to educate, help, inspire, and motivate you to hopefully change your future. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into this week's video. Now, I started real estate investing technically in 2016. I tried to acquire a handful of properties, basically failing every single time back in 2016 in San Antonio, Texas. But it wasn't until I moved to the Dallas-Fort Worth area in 2017, and within 30 days, I had a duplex under contract. Now, that particular duplex, as well as a handful of other investment properties, really pre-2020 or even technically pre-2022, all of those were a slam dunk for the most part, just because I bought them at a price that I think everyone in real estate or anyone that owned real estate prior to 2022 wound up doing pretty well. However, it's been the last couple of years that has made real estate investing a lot more difficult, and needless to say, not every single one of my investment properties are slam dunk. But I will say I made two purchases in 2022. One is actually my least performing real estate investment property, which I'll get to here in a second. But the other purchase I made in 2022, I used some of the proceeds from that 2017 purchase, my first purchase, which is a duplex I just mentioned, rolled the proceeds into a broken bow cabin, which I've detailed a ton on this channel, the entire process, as well as given a couple updates. That is my best performing investment property, and that also was bought in 2022. So yeah, kind of funny story, but both my best and worst real estate investment purchases both came in 2022. But as I started this video off, the difference between that bad investment property that I purchased in 2022 likely will now turn into a good investment property in just 10 years. So let me explain that just a little bit more in depth. And this is a disclaimer. This does not mean you can purchase basically any property you want, wait 10 years, and eventually it will become a good investment property. I help people all the time, whether it be locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or all over the country, as well as in Florida where I'm licensed as well. And I'll be the first one to tell you whether or not a property or just a purchase in general makes sense, whether or not it's a residential purchase for maybe you or your family, or if it's an investment purchase. Again, I'm never going to be someone that pushes a real estate sale on anyone. I'm not desperate like, unfortunately, a lot of real estate agents out there are. I'm never going to push a sale. I'll always be the first one to tell you whether or not I think it's a good investment. But there are going to be times where maybe an investment could be better, but your life circumstances basically allow it to be a little bit lesser ideal of a purchase at that time. So this particular property in 2022, I had kind of a life circumstance that allowed me to reason with myself really and make it okay to purchase a property in the North Orlando market. It also was a new construction home, so it was kind of at a premium price, but also with new construction comes plenty of warranties and basically no work or upkeep in it since I rented it out January of 2023. So 2.5 years later, I've done very little to no upkeep with it. But again, premium price, 2022 or January 2023, the rates were not low like they were the last couple years prior to that. So yes, I bought at a premium price, but in addition to that, I only put 10% down because this was essentially going to be a secondary home. I was allowed to put 10% down rather than 15, 20, or 25% down, so it allowed me to keep more cash in my pocket, but it also has been charging me PMI or private mortgage insurance over the last 2.5 years, obviously affecting my overall cash flow. So the rough numbers on this particular property, we're talking all principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, including the very small HOA. I'm looking at about $3,200 a month. But once again, that's only putting 10% down, and it's at an almost 8% interest rate. And it also includes PMI or mortgage insurance, which eventually will drop off once I hit that 20% equity threshold. So roughly about a $3,200 mortgage all in. The downside is I'm technically only pulling in about $2,500 a month in rent. So if you do the quick math, the math isn't really math in there, especially coming from an individual with a math degree. But right off the bat, I'm immediately $700 negative cash flow on a monthly basis. And that's before anything needs to actually be done to the property if I wind up having any issues with the property, which, knock on wood, the last 2.5 years I have not, but eventually that time will come. But once again, this is only going to be temporary. Now, the particular property I bought for the high 300s, about 380, 385. I can also tell you over the last 3 years, the value has gone up. Yes, the actual loan value has gone down, not significantly, very minimally, but I have built equity in the house with some appreciation as well as some debt pay down. But eventually over the next 5 or 10 years, assuming some general appreciation, I could see this house being worth about $500,000. Now, if we take into consideration also the debt pay down over the course of the next 5 or 10 years, and let's just use some more ballpark numbers here. Again, $380,000 purchase price, put about $40,000 down, or roughly about 10%. And let's say about $40,000 gets paid down by tenants over the course of the next decade. So after owning it for 3 years, let's say 7 years down the road, or maybe 10 years down the road, giving me a total ownership of 13 years on this property, I'm gonna be sitting with a property that has about $200,000 in equity. Now, certainly not a bad investment from that standpoint, but we do have to remember that I am covering $700 on top of what my tenants are already paying me on a monthly basis to cover my mortgage. That also assumes that there's no expenses over the course of the next 10 years, which I'm sure there will be, but the goal here is to minimize that as much as possible. So a little bit more math here, $700 a month times 12, about $8,500 a year that I'm having to cover to basically break even on this property. You multiply that by 10, about 85 grand I'm covering over the next decade, assuming that rents will not go up, but I'm hard pressed to say that they won't. They certainly will in this area that's continuing to be developed and grow. So worst case scenario, I'm making about $80,000 or $85,000 over the course of the next decade with this property. So not the best investment property, but if you're looking at this property only 2 or 3 years in, I could probably break even, get my money back, that $40,000 down payment, maybe reinvest that elsewhere and hope for a higher return. But again, this is real estate, and real estate's going to be the safest and most secure investment that you're more than likely going to make in your life. So does every single real estate investment purchase need to be a slam dunk? I'll be the first one to tell you, obviously, no, it doesn't. Now, obviously, if you're trying to house hack, if you're putting low amounts down, like 0%, 3, 5, maybe 10% down, you're not putting a lot of money down, meaning that you're gonna have a higher mortgage, which means you're gonna cash flow less. If you really wanna cash flow an asset right now, go put 50% down on something. I guarantee you it'll cash flow. But also that money that you're putting down could be used elsewhere, potentially making you more. So if you're putting a low amount down, just know that it's likely not going to be an absolute slam dunk of a real estate investment purchase. But truly, when it comes to any buy and hold, if you're willing to do that, meaning buy and hold, like I was unable to do with cryptocurrency, you're going to be okay down the road. If you have intentions of selling in 2 or 3 years, then no, you're not gonna make money. So if you are looking to invest in real estate, or you have actually a property in mind, or maybe you have a property already in hand that you own, maybe you don't think is the best investment purchase, reach out to me, leave a comment in the comment section down below, or just shoot me a DM on Instagram, shoot me a text. I do not care which way you get a hold of me. I would love to be able to give you any guidance. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you exactly what to do. I'll just give you my personal take and my personal opinion on what I would do in your given circumstance. At the end of the day, it's always gonna be your financial decision to make, but I would love to be able to help or guide in any way possible. As always, I appreciate the support. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really does help, and stay tuned for the next video.